So how are you guys this morning? What's the giggle about? Are you hungover?
I'm really good.
Who said something there?
Well, now I was looking at it, but I thought I'm feeling really good.
You're feeling really good? Nice.
Because we had a really good party.
Yeah, they were telling me about the party out here, you know? It looked like a lot of fun. I felt quite jealous, I have to be honest. I miss my uni days. And I think if anyone feels jealous here, it's my husband.
He misses his uni days even more than you do.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Emma. I'm a psychotherapist and I'm the founder of the blog Aligned by Choosing. So I'm here to speak to you about how practicing mindfulness makes us more self-aware. So how many of you are familiar with mindfulness? Yeah. Okay. Do any of you meditate? Okay. So it's quite a new concept. Yeah, maybe you've heard about it, I don't think. Okay. So how about mindfulness? I'll tell you a bit about mindfulness, about how I started practicing mindfulness. And then we can practice meditation together, if you feel like, for those of you who are interested. And we can keep it really casual, so just ask me when you want to ask me a question, just ask me and keep it. Is that good? Yeah? Okay. So I started practicing mindfulness about 5 years ago. I grew up kind of a very sensitive, emotional person, kind of thing. Don't be scared. It's just a bit like I was very sort of. I used to feel my emotions very strongly, and sometimes it was sort of. It could be overwhelming. It was sort of like my greatest strength because I was very sensitive, and so I could like tap into other people's emotions. But at the same time, it was kind of my greatest weakness as well because it was so overwhelming, like kind of being able to just feel all the time, kind of just even like feeling other people's emotions, you know. It was kind of the case, like I would go to a party and I'd be like, oh my god, that person's really sad, or that person's feeling really anxious, or I don't know if anybody else has had similar experiences. But it used to be really, really tiring. And anyway, I went to this mindfulness course, and it's really helped me to start to sort of see my emotions, but not become overwhelmed by them, kind of thing. And at the time, I think because I used to feel so much, it used to be quite sort of disorienting, right? So if you're having these overwhelming emotions, and then you're also in touch with other people, it can be quite, it's a bit like a whirlwind, it's difficult to kind of center. And so meditation used to help me to do that. So I started it with a course, and basically I used to meditate. I started with like 5 minutes, and then I went up to 10, and I just started to find it very, very helpful and very supportive. And I've kept up the practice for 5 years. There are times that I spend a few months not meditating, like it's not as, you know, kind of I do it every single day. But I do notice that I'm sort of I don't cope with stress as well when I don't meditate, and I think it will become clearer as we talk, like why. I use it as well to sort of psych myself up for stuff. So if I have to have like a difficult confrontation, like with someone I really don't like, for example, I meditate to center so that I don't kind of lose myself in the heat of the moment. So even if I have to give a talk, for example, I get quite nervous to give talks. So I'm like this morning I did a meditation, you know, and just sort of every day it helps me, like with things that I'm scared of or whatever. I had to do a series of MRIs recently. Has anyone ever done an MRI here? Oh, you lucky young people. I had to do 3 recently. And do you know what an MRI looks like? Like, you know that machine, it's like a tunnel, you go right in it. I'm super claustrophobic. I fucking hate that shit. So anyway, they put me, you go in and it's like, I remember once I had to do one a few years ago and I got a total panic attack. I just started crying and I was panicking. It was horrible. So now I use meditation even for things that just freak me out. It really just helps me to stay centered and not lose myself. So I think it could be really helpful for like even like exam stress and coping with difficult relationships and difficult family members and whatever. Do you want to meditate? How many people would like to meditate? Raise your hand. Yeah? Okay. Get comfortable. When you're ready to, you can close your eyes. If you find it difficult to close your eyes, just pick a spot in front of you and just focus in on it. So get in touch with your breath. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Another deep breath in. Let it go. And another deep breath in. And let it go. And now just notice your let yourself breathe normally. This might sound funny when you're paying attention to your breath, but just let it go. And if you find that your mind wanders at any point, don't stress, just bring it back to your breath. Just focusing on the receiving of breath, so the in, feeling it in your nose, going down into your chest, lifting your tummy, and just focus on the letting go. Our beautiful breath, it's so amazing, our breath, like it just works for us, we don't have to stress about it. Just in and out. And now let go of the breathing experience and just bring your attention to the sounds around you. Don't chase them, don't search for the sounds, just let them come to you. It doesn't matter if the sound is pleasant or unpleasant. Sound is sound. Just become curious about it. Try to notice the sound furthest away from you. And try to notice the sound closest to you. And that could be coming from yourself or coming from someone next to you. And now let go of the hearing experience, and with your next inhalation, bring your attention to your body. And Just notice whatever is here, wherever your attention settles freely in your body. And if you get in touch with a sensation of discomfort, don't rush to change it or to make it comfortable, just let it be and breathe into it. Just give it space. And now bring your attention to your feet. And if you have difficulty being in your feet, just pretend you're breathing into them. Just breathe into your feet. And just feel whatever's there. You might feel some tingling or some tightness or some warmth. And just feel the feet. Hello, feet. And bring your attention to your legs. Whatever's here in your legs. Relaxed or tight. Don't try to change it, just breathe into it. And move up to your bum. Sitting on the comfortable or the uncomfortable. Making space for it. And your groin area. And your tummy. Feeling whatever there is to feel. Hunger. Fullness. And bring your attention to your chest and your lungs, breathing in this air. And beautiful sensational. Breathing in and feeling supported by this air, and then letting go. And relaxing into the moment. And move up into your throat and notice what's there. Into your face, your jaw, your cheeks, your tongue, your nose, your eyes, your forehead, the top of the head, the back of the head, your neck, your shoulders, your spine on your back, and your arms. Bring your attention to your arms and your hands, feeling whatever there is to feel. Breathing in and making space. And now that we are settled within our bodies, something we so rarely take the time to do, let's welcome ourselves into the day. I embrace today. I embrace today. I am aware of my energy. I am aware of my energy. I am aware of the energy around me. I am aware of the energy around me. I remain calm. I remain calm. I am at peace. I am at peace. So I'm going to say these 5 phrases again. And I'll just say them once this time. And as I say them, just say them to yourself. You can say them silently, or you can whisper them, it's up to you. I embrace today. I am aware of my energy. I am aware of the energy around me. I remain calm. I am at peace. Take a deep breath in. And then out through your mouth. And again in. Let it out through your mouth. Don't be shy, we're all doing it together. In. And out. And when you're ready, just start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. You can open your eyes and then we're just come back to this space. So how was that for you? You liked it?
Yes.
What did you like about it?
It's interesting that just hearing you mention your mirror talk. Listen to your talk. You sort of suddenly realize that there are these funny things in my head.
It's true.
And when you go one by one and through like parts of what you've forgotten about, it doesn't cross your mind. Like, oh yeah, I'm back.
Oh yeah, I have those. It's true. Usually we don't sort of notice our bodies so much until we feel pain, right? Like if you have a headache, then you're aware. If you have a tummy ache, you become aware. So yeah, so yeah, take a tour. I like that. Yeah, it's true. And the reason I like that you said take a tour, it's kind of like, you know, when you walk into a new space and you take a tour of the space, kind of like I did this morning and you guys have been doing this weekend with this space. Our bodies change from day to day, you know, so it's interesting to tune in and see what's there. Thank you. Tell me more. Who found it difficult? Like, who got agitated? You felt agitated?
I have tried meditation before.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm not quite a I'm quite a fun person in meditation with me actually.
Yes, it can. When I first started practicing meditation, I was experiencing anxiety a lot, and when I would sort of be quiet and be with myself, the anxiety would really become vivid. I remember I used to feel like even just coming in touch with my breath, I would feel like, oh my God, like I'm gonna start breathing, you know? It used to be very uncomfortable. And that's why it's a practice. It takes time, and it's through the practice that I've actually started to really trust my breath. I'm actually an asthmatic, so I've had a really difficult relationship with my breath. Does anyone here have asthma? Okay, I was about to swear at you young people. Okay, so you've had asthma attacks, you know what it's like to feel when it's difficult to breathe. I've had asthma since I was 9 years old, so I've always had this sort of almost like scared. I've always sort of been a bit scared that I might not be able to breathe. It's a horrible experience. So I can. What was it kind of like that for you, or was it different? Was it
No, it's more that like when I'm so quiet, I just think about it. And sometimes I don't doubt, like I stop. Yeah,
For sure. And that's
then when I
totally,
realize that I come back.
that's totally normal. And I do it as well when I meditate. Like as in, after 5 years of practice, I still zone out. I'll be thinking about what I have to do that day or something that upset me the day before. So Yeah, no, it definitely happens. Like, so we run around through our days, right? We stop and tune in with ourselves and see how we feel about things. I think sometimes we feel something and we sort of try to push it away. That is honestly something. I have something really, but I can't say it's not an emotion. I think it's such an interesting emotion. You know, it's one of those emotions that really sound the song. It's like, I know when you're jealous, like, you know, it's like, you shouldn't feel jealous. You know, shouldn't feel jealous. So it's like, not only do you feel jealous, but you feel ashamed of feeling jealous. Because you should always be a problem, you know? You always feel jealous. And it's such an interesting emotion, and the thing is, that when you push it away, and when you push things away and you don't understand where it's coming from, you keep acting from that space, from that fear. So jealousy is a fear of losing something that you have. It's a fear of losing something that you hold dear. Right? And then you can see that there's something very important to you, and you're worried to forgive you. There's so much shame around it that we don't allow ourselves to stay with the emotion for long enough for it to tell us what's happening within ourselves. So yes, it is a difficult practice. To this day, sometimes I find it very difficult to tell myself, okay, let's sit down now for 15 minutes and meditate. Like, there's so much other stuff to do. It feels like such a waste of time. And recently I was unwell and I had to stay home for a month. And my mom would stay with me twice a week. And I would tell her, okay, I need to meditate now. And I would sit down for, I don't know, 15 or 30 minutes, depending. And she would tell me, how do you sit there for 15 minutes with your eyes closed? You're not even asleep. What a waste of time. And maybe it is a waste of time for some people, but for me it's that time when I'm tuning in, I'm seeing what's happening, and the truth is, like, when I do that, I'm less likely to freak out at my mom when she says something that upsets me. I might, but I can see myself do it before I do it, and then I have a choice. This is the beauty of meditation, that it kind of gives you that gap between stimulus response. And I think because we're so busy, we spend most of our time in stimulus response. It's like, I'm hungry, I eat. You know what I mean? So it's a bit of stimulus space response. Choice more than response. To put it very simply, we have 3 zones of awareness, okay? So there's the inner zone, so my emotions, my physical space, okay? So and in fact, we get in touch with you during the meditation, I think you get in touch with your body, doing your breath. So that's your inner zone, okay? Then we have our outer zone of awareness, which is noticing the noise outside, noticing the people around you, their eyes, faces. Okay, so it's becoming aware of outside. The third zone is how the two interact. Okay? My natural predisposition is to be very in my inner zone. Okay, so I'm very in touch with my emotions. I know what I'm thinking about. I feel pain a lot, so I'm very in touch with the pain and stuff. But like the other day, we were in the car, and there was a bright yellow car in front of us, blaring music, and I hadn't even noticed it. Okay, so I tend to be more sort of in my inner zone, whereas Pete tends to be more in his outer zone. Okay, so Pete, I'll tell him, what you thinking? And he's like, I don't know. I said, how are you feeling? No. Why do I have to be feeling something? Kind of, you know. So, and I think maybe it's one of the things that attracted us to each other because we love to, you know, kind of learn from other people, you know, and we kind of we unconsciously sense what we lack in others, and we see that and we come together. Pun unintended.
Edit!
So practicing meditation is really about sort of getting in touch with the two souls and noticing how they feel interact. Okay, so that's why, like in the meditation, I asked you, like, notice the noises around you. Okay, so first you get in touch with your breath, then you go out of it, and then you come back into your body, and then you set an intention. Setting an intention isn't always a part of meditation. It's just something I like to do. It helps me to support myself throughout the day. If I embrace today, then I embrace today with whatever comes. So I embrace today with all the shittiness that it brings, okay, all the difficult things, and also all the joy that it brings. And I make a commitment to myself that I can handle it. So anyway, so meditation is basically about getting in touch with these three zones. And it's about balancing between them. It's sort of a bit of a dance. Do you understand me when I say this? And it's not like I'm always balancing in these zones. I'm not. I often go into my inner zone, like I said. And that's why I meditate, because it helps me to balance, to come into the outer zone and do this. And that is essentially, that's what self-awareness is in the moment. It's about noticing how what's happening within us influences outside, and how what's happening outside influences inside. Okay? So, if I'm feeling anxious, right, to give this talk, like I get anxious before I give talks always. I'm always nervous. I'm not now, I'm okay. You're a nice bunch, I feel safe. I trust you. But before I get here, I feel quite anxious. Now, if I don't notice that anxiety, if I just keep trying to push it away, I'm not giving it space to be seen. And emotions, they're like kids. You tell a kid, go away, they're going to come back and go, ah! Okay, pay attention to me!
Don't know what kids you're hanging out with.
I'm sure some of you know some kids know. You know how they are. You tell them go away, they come back. You tell them go away, they come back louder. Our emotions are the same. And so if I sort of make space for it, like I say, okay, like I make space for it, I'm anxious, it's because I'm meeting new people, it's because I have to go, I don't know how it's going to go. Okay, I'm okay. I support myself by embracing the day, I support myself by coming to my outer zone. Okay, if I stay with that anxiety in my inner zone, it's going to limit me. But if I come to my outer zone and I look around me, you see faces, I see something like smiles, like maybe I know someone told me before, and this guy has a beautiful smile, really nice, reassuring smile. When I acknowledge my inner zone, I come to my outer zone, and the two then can interact and can support me. Does that make sense? And the more we practice it, if we truly practice it, you'll notice how it becomes, it's like saying a sentence. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes, and your real process to say it back to becoming a self. So with mindfulness, it's the same. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. The easier it is for you to get in the zone, to notice your emotions, to notice what your emotions are telling you, and to allow them to guide you. The third zone. Yeah, the third zone is the in-between. Okay, it's how the two interact. In a way, it's not really a zone. It's an interaction between the two zones. But I think they call it a zone because it's you have to be aware of it as well. So it has it's a bit like metacognition. If you're ready, then we can stop here if you feel that this is enough and you got what you wanted from it. If you're ready, yeah.
Carry some pallets.
Are you ready to go back to work? Okay. But thank you for having me.
Thank you.